and strain.
Magnificent.
Sorry, I had to wait for my recording to actually start. I was being a butt. Yes, we're live. Got my chats up there, got my fucking stream over there, got the big board of things. We're good to go.
Cool.
And then a cough decided to just come on. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh no. I could hear it from here.
That's because I had an inhaler thing, so now it's just getting it all out again. So
Yeah.
that'll be happening for a bit, and then we'll be good. Anyway, last time on Dungeons and Dragons, the team had just left the glowing jungle, and found their way out, and had discovered the Dead Edge Mountains.
Thank you very much for the sub, Sleepy Pichu.
Hi, Sleepy Pichu.
Yes, thank you. That is essentially the big parts of what happened last stream. Because otherwise it was just
some more shopping.
yeah, there was some shopping. There was some stuff. The post gianting sort of thing. Willie found a nice X. Oh, now someone else is sneezing. Fantastic. Yeah. And then
Sarikis and Varys were both unsuccessfully trying to flirt with people.
yeah. Well, some are more successful than others.
Yeah, it's true.
But yes, the team, got themselves together, learned some more information, got a quest to take some letters to Ralovalur, to hand them over to Tesserion Vikarin, who's in charge over there. So they're on their way through Ralovalur, on their way to Zutamal, which is the man, I wrote this down and I can't even fucking pronounce it.
Zooptown?
Zootown. Where Z-Town, where Jamie's from. I'll figure out how to pronounce it.
Oh no.
I pronounced it properly last stream. I don't know why I can't now.
I mean, I never
We're all going to Z-Town.
Zutamal. Yeah, they're on their way through. Yeah, they're on their way through Ralovalur on their way to Zoltan. And yeah, they're gonna go hand in these letters before they do that. And they learned that Jamie probably won't join them, meeting with Sarion.
Ah, yes.
Because they have some history that you don't know about yet.
And we were like, the Rikers should totally stay and keep her company while the rest of us go and talk to this person.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to beat his ass.
Yeah.
Diplomatic as ever.
Of course. And then yeah, they left the city with Micaiah in tow, but she was just going back on patrol, so she finished she broke from the party with them at the edge of her patrol line, and everyone went off and eventually found their way out of the glowing jungle without much of a problem other than running into a dangerous kitty and scaring it off.
Wanted to pet the kitty.
Yeah, and then they exited the glowing jungle into more of a foresty, deserty, light savanna sort of area. And they immediately, after leaving the jungle, saw the gigantic wall of mountains that is just straight dead edge hence why it is called the Dead Edge Mountains, which is the wall that was raised by, what's his name, Tyrael Vycarin, a long time ago, to separate the earth water kingdoms from the fire air kingdoms. So yeah, that's where we're at the edge of the glowing jungle. Just gonna continue on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sounds like the best plan to me.
Yeah.
Cool. So continue along the road as it transforms from grassy, mossy. Well, it transformed from moss to packed earth grass as you're getting further out of the glowing jungle, and as it slowly turns more and more into packed dirt and more of a dust pressed firmly into the ground from long use. As the grasses in the wetlands of the jungle turn more into more temperate, deserty, dusty, not really full on desert, like desert road in Wairua. So it's at a higher it's high enough that it's desolate and dry, but it's not a hot dry, if that makes sense. It is like a canyony sort of vibe you got going on here. Anyway, continue walking. You guys had slept through the night not too recently, hadn't you? Yes. Where the fuck did I put the calendar? Where'd it go? Colander. Where did I put the colander? There it is. Okay. Yeah, you guys had just slept not too long ago. So we're here. So travel for a few more hours. Sun gets pretty high in the sky. It had been mid-morning. No, it's not getting low. It was like mid-morning when you guys had finally started to actually see the sun on your journey through, and it started to get really high as you really start to make out Ralovalur in the distance. It is a ginormous city built directly up against the cliff face of the mountains. You can actually see from your perspective that it is in between where the mountains sort of separate a little bit. So there's from looking at them from your angle, they're like just gigantic peaks just sticking out of the ground, all straight edged. Once they come to a certain point, they just fall off, like almost like they're palisades that are made out of stone. Ginormous ones. But then you can see where Ralovalur is started to build out of the mountain. There's a space in between that would seem like a passage between them to the other side. And Ralovalur is a similar color entirely from this distance of the mountains. As you see, the walls of the city itself seem to be made of exactly the same material, but not going up nearly as high. But still quite a large city. And even though the walls are big and encapsulate the whole thing, there's still pockets of buildings and smoke rising out of different sides of the city. You can see that even as large as it is, the jewel of this kingdom, it still has more people coming out of it and building on the outside of the walls.
Well,
Yeah, it's pretty big, especially for a fantasy city, which means it's going to be a real bitch to build in something else. So, yeah. But anyway, you make your way up to it. Doesn't take you particularly long now that you've started to see it. It's getting mid-afternoon by the time that you actually get truly to it and start getting onto the to the main road through it. Let me move you over to it. So the generator that I use for this doesn't have what I want for cliff face stuff. So what would look like normally like water, that is actually the mountain. Essentially what I did for a lot of these is I put in the parameters that I wanted and then just hit and randomize until I got something that was what I wanted. So here we are. And
Wait, are
here
you
you are.
changing the map?
Oh, have you not seen it? What?
The map has been changed, Pyro.
No, it's been
It's not
changed.
updating properly for me. Oh, there we go. Now it is. It was just being a tad slow.
What you got there in the end? And G.
yeah. Cool mountain city.
So,
All right.
Where it's water is cliff face.
Yeah,
yes?
that's just straight dead edge cliff at that point.
It's grey. It's a cliff.
Yeah. And yeah, there's a slight separation in the cliff that goes back into it around this sort of area. Yeah. But yeah. That's essentially the gist of it. Once I get around to actually building it and things, it might look like how it's supposed to look, but this is a close enough approximation. Yeah. Same with pretty much every city in this place. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's at this point, once you've really started to get there, start actually getting towards toward a building that Jamie sort of starts to step a little bit back from the party, sort of letting people start moving in front of her. She sort of says, yeah, so I kind of don't want to go see Tsirion. Kind of don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
you guys mind if I just sort of fly off right now and go to my ambassador's things? Quarters? Any objections?
You should take the Rikus with you. Someone to keep you company.
I mean, I could.
I'm also coughing in real life, but it
Yes.
just works.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Thrakus?
Sorry, Thrakus was having technical trouble.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not.
I would have to
Do
carry
I
you.
have to meet this dude? Because. Oh. I mean. Is that a problem?
I mean,
No.
wouldn't
No,
have
it
to
does
be,
not.
but
And if you want to be alone, that's okay too.
I
really
mean,
don't like him.
he's not a bad person. He's not.
Is he your ex?
No. Don't let anybody else anybody else hear you even think about that.
Is it
Seriously.
like kill on
I
sight
promise
when
not to
people
tell
say that?
anyone.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's he's the sort of the king, and I'm. Let's just say I'm not really worthy of the queen title here. So,
I can think of somebody
Blasphemy.
who thinks that you are a queen.
oh, for sure, 100%. There are many, but
Well,
is
there
not-
was a particular one just over there.
yes,
Mm.
I see where you're getting
Mhm.
at.
Yes,
But-
well, it's just making sure.
Yes,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's more. I'm. Don't want to see him more for his sake than for mine.
Do you mind me asking what happened?
Well, it was a long time ago. There's a lot of different things that happened that really culminated in this, but I guess the main reason why the real needle that broke the camel's back
What
is
is a camel?
his well his
Someone's back.
his wife
Um,
his wife
sandy areas.
yeah his wife died.
Oh,
The queen. And yeah, it was her wishes to stay dead,
oh.
and at the time, he's pretty mad about it, and he's probably still pretty sad about it. But I'm sure that he's probably, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's probably gotten over the whole wanting me to go against her wishes, but we'll see. At the very
Fair to
least,
say, sorry.
At the very least, him seeing me might hurt him a little bit more than it needs to.
Well, thank you very much for telling us this. It is good that we have an idea of what we're getting into
He is
and the sort of people that we are getting involved with.
he's not an angry man usually, and not quick to anger, not ungentle in any way. But you will,
It is a very particular circumstance.
yeah, and he can be quite intimidating, which you'll figure out when you see him.
What's intimidation?
Yeah.
You know about that, god damn it. So
Are you kidding me, Ailey?
yeah,
Ailey would understand the concept of maybe, but Ailey
Yeah.
would definitely not be intimidated easily.
I mean, you don't know.
I am
don't know
3
what
foot
people
tall.
will-
People have been trying to
Has Ailey
intimidate
seen
me.
me
Mm.
do
all the time.
anything?
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been intimidating
just
people
like-
left and right.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's not
What's intimidation? Me.
Yeah.
Willie.
Anyway, so
But Ailey likes Willy the best and found Willy the friendliest.
yes,
They do nothing.
But it's how other people react to Willie. That's intimidation.
yes. Anyway, so I would be fine with you joining me, Arrakis, if you really wish me to take you. But I do think that it might be best for all of you to at least meet him, to be present to give the letters, especially if you're going to be doing much dealings in these lands. I'm sure that making yourself known to the king will do wonders for your reputation.
Well, I need to get this fucking gun fixed.
But you will be alone in a land that doesn't recognize necessarily your title.
I'm never alone. Truly.
Is that like a
Well,
metaphor, or you mean literally?
The dead people.
Ah, I
I
see.
Alien attempts to like whisper down, but it's very obvious.
The
People.
The dead. Leave her alone.
Yeah. And you're all like double my height as well. So
yeah.
leaning down to whisper is really difficult.
Like initially,
Like
like
super obvious.
Yeah, you can't do that
I'm just
surreptitiously
trying
at
to
all.
think.
actually
Knowing
leaning at a
Lizzie,
50-degree
they would-
angle, like
Yeah.
all the way over,
I'm
and
just
then
trying to
yell,
think
whisper,
whether Ailey
"The
would
dead
actually
people."
roll over to do it, or whether Ailey would just pick Varys
Pick
up.
their
and be
Varys
like,
up. The dead
rather than
people.
trying to lean down.
Amazing.
Uh,
It
Perfect.
just goes rigid.
That's absolutely
Uh,
fantastic.
yeah, picks him up like a human picking up a cat, and be like,
Oh,
I
God.
think it's the dead.
Put me down right now.
I do not like this. I am over double my height on the ground. Why?
Oh yeah, because
Why are you so tall?
Willie's the only one taller than Ailey, right?
I mean, Jamie's
Both you and
Jamie's
Thoricus are over 6 foot tall.
yeah, Jamie's taller than you. And most of the elves are.
Yeah, because Ailey is only like, I think 6'1" or 6'2", I think I put her at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of tall people. It's a tall party except for Varys.
The one person that is like half the height of everyone
Yeah.
else.
It's a bunch of tall people, a dog, and a halfling.
And a halfling with a gun.
Yeah.
That's how he
10 out of
makes
10.
up for his
That
height.
is definitely compensating for something. Oh dear. Dear.
So good.
Anyway. So, I will leave you with one of my death guards. I don't need to carry around 2 of them. I'm sure you'll find your way. The city, the castle, the center of the city will be where you need to go, and you present one of the letters. They all have the seal of the families. They'll get you pretty much entry into anywhere, honestly.
No. Really?
Well, anywhere worth being, anyway.
Yes, fair enough.
Well,
Does that include private bathhouses?
probably? I'm not sure.
None of this
Haven't tried.
public one that I've seen around some of these parts. That's just weird.
Yes. Yes.
When did Ailey go to the bathhouses?
I don't know.
I thought that was
Alright.
why Ailey
Seen
never
around.
managed to have a shower in ages, was because
No,
it was
you had
all,
like a hotel room in the fucking royal consulate. And
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was the first time they got like proper time.
Well,
okay.
without magic.
So you want to find
'cause
another
Joe was
bathhouse.
cleaning us up prior.
And Joe was cleaning
Yeah.
you up a lot.
Yeah.
We don't have Joe anymore.
You don't have Joe
Yeah.
anymore,
Nope.
so I guess that's
Magically
fair.
clean. Oh, we're probably a bit.
No,
lithy.
we're gonna have to do it manually. God damn it.
Manually clean.
I mean,
Willie is not impressed by the idea.
I didn't join a fantasy land for the
Willie
idea of
can
having to
fix
manually
it.
clean myself.
Willie certainly did it. Anyway, I will be on my leave then. Yeah.
Whereabouts should we meet up with you? We've delivered these letters.
Meet me at the ambassador's quarters. There's only, well, I guess there is a couple of them in town. They'll know exactly where to send you if you ask.
Okay. Oh, farewell.
Good luck. I'm missing you all already.
No. Did you hear that, Thoricus?
And with that,
Yeah.
with it, she throws her arms down, glowing brilliantly purple, and one of the death guards does the same, and shooting her right out the backs, the giant purple glowing wings unfurl.
Bailey will
Come
be
up.
very like, wow.
Everybody's like, well, come on.
Yeah.
And then, just with a single flap, they fly up into the air and shoot off to the center of the city.
Holy shit.
And there you go. Jamie has exited the party. Everyone else is going to continue their way into the city.
I want to keep an eye out for any gunsmiths or tinkerers I can see around as well.
Okay. Roll perception.
Sure.
Do you want Ailey to help you look or no?
I mean, I figured that Ailey would be looking for their own sort of stores.
Not at the moment. I mean, Ailey's
enough.
always on the lookout for places to buy gifts for Wakewar in hopes that he is
Of
a
course.
dragon and can
Okay.
validate the fact that her being a
19.
half-dragon.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, half dragon. What are you talking about?
What
I
are you
mean, yeah,
talking
no.
about? Anyway,
There's no dragons here.
yes.
He just needs a dragon to accept her. Be her new father or brother or partner or something.
Oh, lordy.
Some sort
Lordy,
of
lordy,
validation.
lordy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hmm.
Anyway. Jesus.
What?
Okay.
That's the whole point of half-dragons.
Yes,
They
yes
need
it
to be
is.
validated by real dragons.
Yeah, they need their father or mother figure to validate them. Unfortunately for
and if
you,
not-
neither of your parents were dragons. They were both half dragons. So
Oh,
no dragon parents to
darn.
be validated by.
Mhm.
That's why they settle for validation.
But those
in
grandparents,
other
though.
forms.
Those grandparents.
But they settle for validation in
Oh.
other forms as well. Friends,
They do.
partners,
Oh, hey.
and siblings and things.
Anyway. Is at this point,
Which Wake
so
was
Varys is
playing Ailey for.
Varys is looking around intently, desperately trying to find anything that'll help him with his gun based thing. Unfortunately, it looks like this approach from this area of town that you've come in from is not so much kind of slummy.
Ah, yes.
So there's
More like the outer burbs than the marketplace.
yeah, very much so.
Okay.
So while you are absolutely paying as much attention as possible, you see
While I am watching like a whore.
yeah, so this is actually perfect. So on your way through while you're doing that, yeah, with the slum stuff going on, you immediately notice that this is not the towns that you're used to in any way, shape, or form. It is not nearly as clean and as well built as any of the human and dwarven cities that you had passed through. A lot of the houses are sort of ramshackle. They're put together the best of their abilities. It seems like even that the magical abilities of these people are pretty great, but it seems like even that isn't working for them, as a lot of the stuff is hand put together pretty shoddily.
Feel very much like home for Ailey.
Yeah, very much so. But for you, it's almost like whoever put together this housing just didn't care for the people who were occupying it at all. Somehow even worse than Wellington. It's crazy.
What? What?
You know,
How
it's
do you
like it
do
wasn't livable in any century. But anyway, as you get further in, you come upon a scene. So you on your way through, you've been seeing a couple of people pass by, elves of similar thing. Many of them not having any of the tattoos that you're familiar with at all, so being completely bare skinned. A couple of
It'd
them will
probably
still
be a
have
bit weird too, wouldn't it? We're very used to seeing the tattoos.
exactly you are. So that is something that you're pretty familiar with. You did see a couple of people in the tree in Glenvalur that didn't have obvious tattoos, and like Jamie's, they're not always visible at all times. So some of Jamie's appear when she uses them. She's still got purple tattoos, so you could sort of assume that some of their magic is not, some of their tattoos are not entirely visible at all times, but it is weird to you that they are completely bare skinned, where they're not clothed.
Are they children that haven't earned them yet?
No, they're fully adults. It's like,
So it is probably class system of some kind.
could be. You're not sure yet. From what you're gathering, from what you're gathering, you kind of assume so, because you're in a slum and there's lots of people around who don't have this sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
But also you do know that that the spice, which is the magical material that you have, is what they use to tattoo these magical symbols on them. So you could kind of also assume that it is also a thing as well, that perhaps a lack of that could generate such a thing as well. But yeah. So as you get further and further through, as you get to the real thick of the slums, where there's buildings right next to buildings, very small passages in between them, and the roads, it gets a little claustrophobic, as some of them start to become more high-risey as well, not being single floor stuff, more 2-level, 3-level, and bits and pieces, where they're cobbled together from big rocks, large stones, cobblestone in some places, brick houses in others, just sort of really ramshackle, put together with what pieces they could find, and some pieces look like they were raised by magic directly out of the ground, like you had seen before, and like you see from the walls in the mountains, but some mostly just bits and pieces of that. So it's like somebody came in and put the singular wall in using their magic, and then from that point on, that is built on top of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get into a point where there's to your left there is a. Let me just put the map up. And I'll describe it. Map. Everyone on the map?
Yeah.
Haley, you loaded the map?
Yep.
Cool.
It's there.
Still isn't shown on stream yet.
No.
Right, okay.
I think it's lagging.
I think your stream is a bit far behind, actually. Anyway, so on your left, there is a sort of an eatery. It's a elongated building that has a window, a long window that's open, and it's got shutters that have been raised, and there's a couple of people sitting there who are having a meal of some sort, and it's it's got signage inside the window. Looks like there's a kitchen set up there. It's definitely something you could order some food from. To your right, there's a sort of a veranda above you, even a deck you could call it, in some semblance of a deck. That has got another level on top of it. But you can see the entrance of it to your right underneath that. There's an alleyway, a couple of alleyways right in front of you, and one more buildings. But you see right in front of you, up the end of the street, what seems to be an eviction happening. A lady is getting
Like
all of
someone
her
being
stuff.
thrown out.
Yeah, a lady is seems to be having all of her belongings being thrown out into the street, and she is being thrown into the street and dragged out by some people who do not appear to be guardsmen. You've seen.
Alright. Ailey would probably already be walking over there based off of their backstory.
Hold on. Wait. Please.
You're gonna have to be a lot more aggressive than that if you want Ailey to stop.
Alright, let me finish describing this and then we'll continue.
Yeah.
They do not seem to be guardsmen. They're not wearing armor. They are clearly different from the people you have spotted so far. They have the tattoos on them, and are indeed magical elves. But are not wearing armor. Are not carrying obvious weaponry. And as you've seen from,
They don't seem to have like insignia of any type,
No.
like nothing guard related at all.
nothing god related at all. No insignias, no flashy armory, no insignias, no. They look like
like street toughs.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, they look like they are right at home in the place that they're in, except for the fact that they have the tattoos and are being the oppressors. So, Ailey starts to move up.
Yes.
Varys will move up beside.
Ailey would be moving a lot faster than that.
I am just getting
Wait
order.
for me, I have little legs.
I'm just getting the order of this. So this sort of formation we're talking. All right. You approach, and
Ailey
this
would
one,
almost be running at this point.
this one, the one closest to you, turns. What are you doing? Turns and sees you lot. What's the plan?
I'll call out in Elvish. What are you doing?
What does it look like?
Ailey will look at you being like, I was about to speak.
You usually don't like doing the talk.
Cool.
You can carry on if you would like.
I will do the talky talk.
What do you
It
what do you
looks
want?
like you're having a few issues here. What's going on?
No issues. Just a regular
Why is
old.
this person on the street?
They haven't paid their bills.
What bills would those be?
The bills to live in this house, obviously.
Really? And you are enforcers of these bills? Why?
Well, why wouldn't we be?
You look like no guards that I have seen before.
We're not guards.
You own the building then?
Really? Yes.
Legally?
Yes.
You have paperwork?
He's not not expecting this sort of shakedown.
I would like to
roll an intimidation.
Yeah, sure.
Ailey, you can roll as well. You're doing present in this conversation.
Terrible.
Ailey
Okay.
is a tad more intimidating.
I am 3 foot tall, and I don't have my gun. I don't have my guns out yet.
Yep.
And all you're talking about is like lawful shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What sort of
Ailey will pull out. Oh wait, does Ailey?
what
still
sort of
have
justice
gloves?
do you propose to represent? None of you are even Elvish. What are you doing in our city?
We are here to see the king. What the fuck are you doing here?
Ailey will pull out the insignia thingy that we were given, because Ailey still doesn't understand how it
the
works, but
letters.
Ailey would just pull
The
that out
letters.
and be like, "We're important people, thank you."
We bring word from the other kingdoms.
Let me see that.
No.
He... All right. He tries to go out. Tries to put his
I
hand
put my
out.
hand on my fucking gun.
They don't know it's broken.
We...
Alright.
No, my actual pistol.
All right. Ailey be like, You may look, you cannot touch. I don't trust your grubby hands. You
All right,
seem to
roll,
be taking more from people than what they can afford.
Roll a what's the word? Deception.
Sleight of hand.
Persuasion?
Persuasion. That one. Persuasion.
Persuasion.
There's no getting a good look at the thing. So.
Nice.
Haha!
You were lucky that rolled over.
Yeah.
It was on a
Yeah.
9.
That still would have been a fairly high, because I get +5.
He squints.
The difference between 14 and 24 is big, though.
He squints at it. All right. So it is. Well, even if you are bought by the king, we have the rights, the ownership of this building to evict whoever we want.
Okay, so
How much does
how
she
much
owe?
are their bills?
Fuck's sake, guys.
Ailey will kick the Rikers. Stop presuming gender. How much do they owe, and why?
It is very
Buzz.
clearly a woman being thrown out, but that is fair. That
Yeah.
could be a family.
I'm sorry, I was using that in the way that I usually use guys, which is an everyone term, which, you're right.
Yeah,
fuck-
general.
Yeah,
Fuck's sake, pals.
Pals, gang,
I wasn't meaning the guys.
Mortals.
Homes,
Not guys.
home slices.
I was like,
mortals.
fucking
Honeys.
fuck's sake, party.
We're gonna solve every problem individually, and we'll eventually get to the king.
Amazing. Good job.
Right.
Well, she's
This is not our problem.
well. They're 500 gold in arrears.
Okay, and how much do you normally
Not a problem.
charge versus how much does the average person here earn?
Oh, fuck.
I wouldn't know that.
Wait, you do not live here yourself?
I live in the city, yeah, but we don't do like surveys of how much people earn and how much land costs around here. We just know the price of the building that our organization owns. What?
What
What?
organization is this?
I
Well-
would like to know what organization this is.
Well, I don't really have a name, but it is owned by Theodred Kytherin, our employer.
Whereabouts might we find him?
Town.
Yeah.
No one
It's
simply
like embarrassed,
finds.
like, remember this little one, 'cause I won't."
No one simply looks for Theodred.
But
He
then what
finds
if
you.
I would? No. Well, tell him he should find me.
Well, sure. What is your name?
Varys.
Well, Varys. I will tell Theodred that you have been messing with our affairs, but we will get back
Missing?
to what we are doing, and we will finish this.
No. No, you won't.
No,
Until we see him, she's going back in there. And her
Ailey,
family, or
this-
whatever.
This person owes what, 500 gold? I have 250 I can spare. You want to go have some of it?
Sure.
All right.
we
I
will.
mean, it sounds like they
Another
keep saying
renter
this
is
much
already
anyway.
lined up. Any payment is long past due.
And where are you expecting them to go to in the meantime then?
Why should I care about that?
Well, common decency, empathy.
This is why I hate
General feeling for your fellow people.
Sure. You're very foreign, aren't you? Well,
No, we're
we're
fine.
going to continue doing what you're doing.
I'm a
We
completely
are
normal
we are not
human
elven.
being, thank you.
You are not elven.
That's the important part.
Well, if that is all you wish to do,
Hmm.
we will get back to what we are doing.
Well,
And
perhaps you
others will
stop
turn
being
around.
so rough with it to start with. Now I'll walk up to the woman that's being evicted. Here.
Okay, so you were there. Hold on.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
And you walk this way.
Mhm.
Well, you get about here. Before this guy puts his hand out to try and stop you from moving.
Your hand is still a foot over my head. my friend.
Yeah.
Are these elves taller than me?
Yes.
these are the usual
Right.
tall elves.
Willie moves up and plants his axe hilt down into the
Ailey would be
dirt.
glaring up at them, like hands on hips, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right.
You leave the
Let's-
little one alone.
Let's roll this.
Only I pick on the little one.
Here's the one that's a little bit more intimidating. What? He's only got a 1 in intimidation? That doesn't make any sense. Well,
Still rolled a 20.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, this one steps back a little bit. So does this one. And you can move a little bit forward. So you're reaching out to try and help the lady.
Yeah.
She steps forward. She wrestles a little bit out of the arms of the one that was sort of dragging her out. He's not putting up much of a fight at the moment while they're while Willie is standing there holding his axe.
Mhm.
But as she starts coming over to you, and starts trying to navigate her way away, and around you, she says, "No, you shouldn't do this. This will cause more problems
More problems
you
for you or for us?
for everyone."
These people were
Why?
throwing you out onto the street.
There's nothing that I could do about it. And she
If we
continues.
gave you coin,
she
is
continues
there a
to
place
walk.
that you can go?
She just continued to walk away, holding what she could of her valuables. See? Choose out. I
Ailey
consider
will
this.
still be glaring.
Varus is doing the same. You tell Theodred that he needs to have a word with.
Of course.
And what?
Huh?
Back to my party.
All right. All right. And they start
Is
shuffling.
that really necessary?
Ailey will
inside.
just stay there where they are, hands on hip, glaring at them still.
Cool. And they slowly shuffle inside.
You guys really just.
Disappearing stuff.
Mm?
You guys really just made that worse. We didn't help anyone.
There was an attempt.
It sure was an attempt.
This is.
That was pretty
This
rough.
is how the world works. She could not pay for her accommodation. It was rough. But it's unfortunately how the world works. I don't see why we had to try to start a fight about it. She didn't
Just-
want us to start a fight about it.
She was also being manhandled by them as well.
Maybe she should have left when she was supposed to. Landlords suck, but this is the law of the land.
Harsh realities.
Dang, is my neutrality really this terrible for the party here right now? Just that shit's heavy, guys.
Oh dear.
Promise me not as my character would not do this.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, but there is no way that I could stand by as my character and let that happen without trying to help.
Exactly. But
that's
that's, yeah, but I'm just
Mm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of mess caused by your weird lawful shit. Lawful good shit.
Well, good shit.
Good shit.
Well, yeah,
Well, you tried to bring the
I'm not
lawful into it. Oh, you're not.
because
No.
that's what they respond to.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright, onward towards the king, I assume.
yep, you seem to have caused enough of a ruckus in this area. People are still, people are looking out their windows at
Like, what the?
you
fuck
guys.
was going
Like,
on
what
there?
the fuck?
Varys pulls his hood up over his ears.
And you make your way through the rest of just the town up to the walls. City. Yeah, still pretty slum-like. Westpac. Oh man, that sucks. Twitch does need better ads.
Oh, was that the coke ad?
No, it's the Westpac ad cover of Stand
Oh,
By Me.
God.
Respect
That
man.
sucks.
Mm.
Especially considering Final Fantasy 15. Anyway, so make your way down the street, past all that stuff. Similarly looking sort of stuff. Luckily, no more scenes for you to intervene on. Do you want to roll on
Sweet.
another perception, Varys, if you're continuing to look for more
Sure
stuff?
thing. Can do.
Mm.
16.
Yes. Yep, still a slum. On your way through, yeah, buildings get higher and taller and shorter, and there's a few street side vendors of foods and other things, and all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
But not a lot of item related things.
Yeah,
No knickknacks, not even no merchants of any kind. Essentially, just in few and far between. Occasionally, there is a food side, a street side food thing, kitchenette with people selling street food. But that's about it. Right up until you get to the actual walls of the city, which, as you can see now, from this point, they were straight up raised out of the ground, just straight up moved earth directly out of the ground, flattened across the top. That should be in townsfolk with this giant diorama. That's actually a cliff. That's not water. That's not water. That's a cliff.
Man, you got so many coastal cities here, man.
So many coastal cities.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was a dire just landing into the mountains. Jesus Christ, horrific. Yeah. Anyway, so the walls are raised up exactly the same as the mountains surrounding you. Just you can see where the seam just rolls up from the ground, where they're just identical. Just looks like the ground is just gone up. But there is a gap in them where doors have been a massive wooden gate has been placed in them, and there are some guards stationed at each side of them, but the gates are open. So you mosey your way through. These guards are actually guards, not the street thugs that you saw previously. They are adorned with plate armor that does bear a tree-like insignia.
Does the insignia match up with anything on the letters that we've got?
Yes, it does. One of the letters, the ground of the green. One of the woods of the green. Yeah.
Cool.
And you make your way down through. As soon as you pass through the just glad with the spell cards. We were just walking past them. It's fine. The city's open. The city's open. There's times for that. Anyway, you make your way. As soon as you enter through the gates, you immediately notice the difference between outside the gates and inside the gates.
Yeah.
Where outside,
Right.
everything is shoddily put together from bits and pieces. Inside is perfectly fucking Christ, perfectly put together, made out of fine materials, bricks and mortar, and occasionally the odd building that seems to have been like the walls been raised out of the ground, and shaped into its fantabulous shape. Lots of ornate structures and areas of the city where there's statues that also similarly have been just raised out of the ground and shaped to look like they are. It's just got that air of high class living, but for mages, essentially. And as you get to the center, the proper center of this area, you see this courtyard that's laid out just before the proper gates to the actual castle. For sure, for sure. There's a nice fountain, marvelous fountain in the center of the city that's pouring water, and it's got fancy statues of people standing in a sort of battle-y formation, one with their bow stretched out, one with seems to be casting a spell, and one with a large axe, like almost like your team, but in an entirely different universe. But then pointing the one that's got the arrow notched and seems to be pointing off in the direction of the mountains, and you look past where they're looking, and you can see that just a ginormous gate, like absolutely massive compared to the gates that you've run into, sitting in between the two mountains, where the mountains separate, and you can see right through them, right into the sky, into the other place, and you see that there's a nice passage. Yes, there's a nice passage that goes through.
Tokusenkai.
Yeah.
Tokusenkai.
Yeah. Fucking hell. You can see that passage that goes right through.
Are you visiting Space
there's-
Australia?
Yeah, we're visiting Space Australia. And there's guard towers, and guards sitting up in the guard towers, manning that seemingly a lot more than they are manning the gates elsewhere, as if they're still prepared for war, even though you know that they are no longer at war. You continue on to gates that are actually closed, which is the gates to the castle proper. You can see that the castle is just as lavish as the rest of the buildings around over the walls, and is again grown directly out of the ground, shaped perfectly into its state, and the walls around it similarly the same, but they are shaped a little bit more nicely, if that makes sense. So instead of just being straight out of the ground, flat bottom, flat sides, flat top, they've actually been etched with nice carvings that spread all the way around it. It's just it's a really ornate wall for no reason at all, it seems. But the gates are shut, and there are a couple of guards standing outside as you approach. Alt, who goes there? I am
We
Archer,
are.
emissary of the Gorgonites. No, sorry. Continue.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I didn't even know that I remembered that.
Yeah.
We have missives to give to the king, told to seek him out.
Is that right?
Correct.
Well, can we see one of these letters?
Absolutely.
All right.
Hand him
Produce one of the letters, hand it to him. Oh, how nice of you. he grabs sort of, like, has to sort of, bend a little bit to grab them out of your hand.
Yeah. He's like,
Looks at what
just crouches down
Yeah.
to eye level.
He doesn't do that though. Not that nice. He grabs it out of your hand, looks on one side, flips it over, sees the insignia, sort of once over, hands it back to you. This then looks like one of the appropriate insignias of the families. It's very interesting to see such of your kind bringing such things.
No, we
Those
were just in the Earthen Kingdom ourselves.
This is still the Earthen Kingdom. Do you mean Glen?
Well, sorry, yeah, the Flame Valor.
Yes, I see. Well, I shall open the gates for you. Then he
Thank you.
raises his hand, and a flash of green out of his hand, like shoots across and like a beam up to one of the guard towers beside the gate, and then
Oh, that is so cool.
the gates click and then slowly open themselves inwards, and you make your way into the castle grounds itself, and immediately you can very much tell that this is another level above the high class that you've just been in. There is there are gardeners tending to trees and stuff. So from the get-go, from when you were outside, a lot of what was, there's still that deserty, savanna-y, sandy sort of environment. But as you got further and further in, it became nicer and more clean, dusted. Everything's like not really covered in sand as much. But once you enter in here, it is a lush garden. There's grass, there is trees, there is bushes, there's everything nice about this entire place on the inside of these walls. It's like its own veritable Garden of Eden. You could probably pick the fruit from the trees and eat it directly off them. Yeah. Continue your way up the stairs of the castle, onto the main foyer of it, and another guard stands at the front door of the actual castle. Papers, please.
Hand him over a couple of minutes.
Yes, these are in line with what we expect. Steps back, but opens the door for you.
Thank you.
And you enter into the castle with its polished stone floors, its immaculate marbling walls, and tasteful chandeliers and lamps and all that stuff. It is mainly just a wide open hall, from what you can see. In the front area that you're in, that's sort of slender as you enter into the actual main bigger part of it. Off to the sides, off to the left and the right, there's stairs that go up and that seem to go up to the second floor, but you're just continuing forward. As you can see, a throne, essentially right up in front of you, from where you can see it. There's these two pedestals set up from the base, and large seats, made out of brilliant dark wood, seemingly grown out of the ground, directly where they sit, atop the stonework that also seems to have been just apparated out of nothing. It is definitely the height of the magics that they're capable of, the artistry of that kind of magic. But yeah, you continue on into this throne room sort of area, which just opens out into this wide, echoey chamber. That, even though it's completely dust free and completely clean in every way, it seems like it hasn't been lived in or used in a very long time. Like from the moment you entered, even though it was beautiful and immaculate and looks like, you know, all of the royalty you could ever imagine, getting together and making one thing. It seems like this place just, it doesn't feel like there's a living presence in it of any sort. Like no one's like had a meal in here or anything, or even held an audience of any type in a very long time.
It's more for the look of it than for practical.
Yeah, but you get the
functionality.
feeling of that from the moment you entered the building. Like it's like the entire castle itself. It's like the life of it has been drained from it. But yeah, as you click clack, even though some of you are not wearing shoes, you still manage to click. Every step you take seems to click clack along the ground of the polished stone floor and echo throughout the whole hallway. But you continue until you get to about the center of the throne room, and that's where you hear a loud crash and a few thumps coming from behind you. And as you turn, to see what it is, a giant ice golem appears from where you came and steps into the throne room. And who might you be? As you could see when you first saw him, he is, you know, the ice golem. You see that it's ice, that it's clear and blue, and it's right through, and you can see the arm. It's something that you're familiar with, the kind of elementals that are around here, so it's very much in that vein. But as it steps further into the throne room, you see the light penetrate through it properly, and you see that in the center of it it's not entirely clear. In the center of it there is a man who is suspended in it, seemingly, you know, eyes closed, arms down, seemingly at peace inside of this ice golem. Who might you be intruding on my court? The sound that's coming out of this golem is it's magical in its nature, and it's trying to sound like whoever's inside of it, but it is still grating and cold, and it doesn't sound fully human either. Well, fully elf, I guess.
Yeah. We bring word from the other kingdoms. We were sent in here to create the king.
That is me. I am the king.
Nice to meet you. Ailey will bow.
You don't need to do that. Thanks though. Oh. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Well, what a state
Are
we
you
have.
okay? What is
Yes,
wrong?
I am. Well, I'm. Just look at me. Come on.
It is unusual, I will give you that.
I mean, we've seen other different things we've not seen before, so I figured this was normal. For
Yes,
this
I guess that's fair for people such as yourself. I see. So you said you bring word from the other kingdoms. Is that correct?
Yes, from other families. We have letters here.
Letters. I
Yeah,
see.
profit them to him.
Please, hand them to me. And he
So-
just, the crunching of ice as his arm and his legs move as he approaches you and tries to get as low as possible. He's even, he's towering even compared to Willie, to twice Willie.
Billy will probably snatch the stuff from Varys and
Yeah.
hand it.
Probably better that you do it. I am
Yeah.
a lot closer to the ground.
Yeah, and now noticing his disproportionate size, you realize that a lot of the doorways in this place seem to have been remodeled to allow him to step through them, and that is why this place echoes so badly, simply to allow for him. But yeah, he reaches down, and you place them into his icy cold hand. The temperature around this place is quite warm, but yet he doesn't seem to be melting in any way. There's no dripping. There's nothing different about his form. There's a light fog that sort of emanates from the back of him, giving that sort of air of the air of the cold, I guess. But just sort of it's sort of like billows off of him, kind of cloak like.
How do
But
you
yet-
maintain this?
Well, you assume it's magic. Or are you actually asking that question?
that Ailey's actually asking. That's why it's got the British accent.
I see.
Yeah, fair.
It's hard sometimes, with you.
Especially because depending
Yeah,
on
reverting
how
to your
old
original
she is.
accent.
Well, the more relaxed she is, the more cockney it gets.
Yeah.
Versus when
Yeah.
she's trying to impress, or is anxious, it goes more formal.
Well, I guess the question more is how do I get rid of it? But I understand where you're coming from.
This was not something that you chose to do? What happened?
An accident of some kind.
Have you
very
tried
magical accident.
melting it?
Yes. Yes, I have.
With what
Oh, dear.
kind of fire?
Many magical kinds. Many
Okay.
mundane kinds.
The Fire Kingdom have given it a go,
They sure have. They sure have.
and a dragon.
What's a dragon?
Oh, maybe you should try one sometime.
Well,
As soon as
Why?
we
What are
find
you
a dragon.
offering, Ailey?
Ailey's not offering.
I'd be willing to try anything, but at this point, I've sort of given up a lot of hope. But
Was it a curse?
your word. It's certainly my curse, for sure. Anyway, he takes the letters out of your hand.
Bummer.
As you've as you place them in his hand, you feel the cold, very very cold. Coming
Oh,
out of him.
Ailey would not like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of pull your hand away.
Yeah, recoils.
And then he sort of grips them in his icy hand, and then you see the body inside. You can see the blue tattoos up and down his sides glow, And it gives off this beautiful light as it comes through the ice. Like
Hmm.
like light through a diamond as it sort of rainbow effects out, refracting in between the crystals,
Like a prism.
like a prism.
Ailey would just be like,
Yeah.
oh.
And the energy passes through his icy arm, through the letters. They glow brightly, and then passes back through and up to his mind. Well, so you must be Varus, Ailey, Thrakus, Willie, and Codswallop. He points to the dog.
Yes.
Very nice to make your acquaintance. I see that I read, I guess, that you have done some pretty marvelous things. And have assisted
We've done
very
some
much so.
things, yes.
Some stuff and some things, yeah.
Well, finding what may be an extinct species in this place is very intriguing to me. Dragons.
Oh, you mean yes.
Yes, especially considering my condition. So,
Extinct species? What?
well, we've never
Dragon.
heard of them
Dragons.
before. And you seemed,
the
as
zombie dragon.
as discussed in my thing, as discussed in these, they are dead around here. So I go with extinct. But
I
who
thought
knows?
you were talking about Joe.
Joe. Oh, Joe.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, Joe. I have read about him. Yes.
Joe, the extinct species
Yeah.
of automaton
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that lives forever indefinitely as long as it can repair itself.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
Well, I'm very glad to have met you all, and I am very glad that Jamie has found someone to some friends to be with. She's definitely she's had some experiences, as have we all.
Varys just kind of looks back at Tarakas.
I'm just squinting at the guy like, what's he about to say?
Experiences?
Trying to see if I should be offended or not.
Roll
Well,
for offense.
oh dear.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Christ.
Oh dear. Anyway. Yes. Well, her whole thing, and my whole thing, and well, it was a long time ago, but us elves, we deal in long periods of time, so it's hard for us, especially considering in this state and in her state, we will probably be here for a very, very, very long time.
I mean, I understand what you mean for yourself. What do you mean for Jamie?
She cannot die. Has she not told you this?
I mean, I assumed.
We
Death wizard.
Yeah, we were not explicitly told, but we kind of, made an educated guess.
Mm. Well,
We should ask these things of Jamie, not of her peers.
yes, that is very courteous of you. I appreciate it. It's not something I see very often around here.
I'm not saying this out loud, but tricked him into recognizing her queenship. Oh. Yeah.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Well,
we have noticed there was problems when we were at the last city.
Problems? Oh,
I
yes,
assume
the
that-
giants.
Yes.
Yes.
Giants and red caps and scorpion things.
Yes, the Feywild yes, that is definitely something that I will need to look into.
That was what I was going to ask. Has anything like that happened around here?
No, luckily we are far enough away from the Feywild to not experience such things. As for weird things like you have experienced, things out of the ordinary, not so much. Pretty standard stuff.
Varys
around
kind
here.
of looks at him. Yeah, nothing weird's happened, I'm sure. Giant ice golem man.
Nothing out of the ordinary, at least. Nothing we've not had to deal with on a daily basis.
How did you, if you do not mind me asking, I don't mean to pry, but what happened to you?
It is no bother at all. It's been a long time since I've had to explain this to someone before. Yes, it's normally common knowledge around here. Well, it was during the separation a few thousand years ago, when I was going on an expedition to investigate the crater up north, the Sunstone crater, the Solar Tether. It's a lifelong dream of mine. Was a lifelong dream of mine to discover its properties and perhaps use its power to bring magic to more than those who need the spice, essentially, to bring it to the masses. But well, in my folly, I may have used a bit too much of the power, and the only way to save myself was to divert that energy into, well, this icy shell. And unfortunately, that magic is far more potent than anything that we have ever seen before, and well, it has kept me in here for 1,000 years and is not melted a drip. The only person who's been able to even bring me out for moments, hours, was Jamie, and she's no longer capable of such things. But yeah, it's a long time ago.
Thank you for letting us know that. I don't know. That is. I imagine with your 1,000 years and your powerful magic, you've exhausted a lot of possibilities. Is there anything we can do to help you?
I don't know. And I have been keen to learn of the magics of the old continent, and as we've been trying to get that trade route up, I was hoping that
Right,
we
'cause
would
you-
be.
Why don't you just give it a shot?
I literally can't create fire unless someone hits me.
Yeah,
How come
you
I
can
feel
use it
like
as a
you've said
spell. You
Yeah.
can just use it as a
I
spell. If you
don't. I can use Hellish Rebuke as just a spell.
yeah, if you
I think
want
it's
to as
just a
well.
reaction.
You can. So
Uh,
if you use it as a
Well,
reaction, it doesn't
if I
cost
stare
a
at him
spell
and think
slot.
about how fucking jealous I am that Jamie seems to have this sordid history with the man, then yeah, I'm pretty sure I could set him on fire.
Thoricus takes like 1d6 psychic damage.
For being
As
angry at
as the
this.
memories flood.
Fuck.
I mean, if you're willing, if you want to give it a try, please do.
Sure thing.
Cool. Sweet. Rel, this is gonna be fun. All right.
Then take a few steps back.
So, roll your thing for Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. I was not prepared for this.
Cool. and roll a Arcana check.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. So,
Oh, it shouldn't be an advantage. Sorry. I got
No,
the
that's fine.
advantage
First
for
one.
being in the forest.
yeah, you're not in the forest anymore. Out of the forest, Dodo. So,
I changed
you,
Yeah.
you put your hand out, you know, mere meters from him, and focus all of that, I don't quite it, all of that, that rage and jealousy at these mere mentions
Jamie,
of his
What the fuck did you
interference
do
in
when Jamie freed you of your fucking prison for hours at a time? You fucking now Jamie doesn't want to see. What the fuck did you do? The fuck did you? This is what's happening in my head.
you could be asking these questions, but anyway, all right.
No,
Yeah, and
you're
you,
supposed to be here with your political shit.
yeah, you
Don't
feel
get-
the heat come off you, as you push out the spell, and all it seems to do is give off more of that. All the golem seems to have happened to it additionally is give off more of that steam off the back as it billows out even more as a cloak. But otherwise, he seems exactly the same. No melting, no change in shape.
Well, I did used to be in a circus.
Yes,
Fuck's sake.
Anyway,
We
hold
have
on.
seen
Let me
videos
get
like
to
this before.
before we get into this. Let me get into that. Before we get into that, from that Arcana check, you feel like the source of the magic that is driving this is repelling even what you do. That the steam that was coming off is not actually from anything that you actually did. It is more a reaction. It is more just the actual magic coming off even more. So like the ensemble, the ice is what the form of the magic has taken, but he is still exerting, he's still pushing out magic. It is constantly coming out of him like a font, and that fog is it continuing to come out at a slow trickle, and you doing that has only made it come out even more for a short period. But otherwise seems the
Whoa.
same.
You're like a. It's like you need a release valve, dude.
Release valve?
Yes, that is what
Do I have to repeat all the magic stuff?
no.
We can pretend that you can just say
Yeah.
that you have now repeated it.
You've described what you believe
Yep.
to be the case.
So I
It
don't
is
need to do my circus trick.
your circus trick. Is it just mundane fire and oil? Is that what you're talking about? I've tried all those
With
things.
whiskey.
Yeah, Ailey. Is it?
With whiskey.
Yes, with whiskey, we have tried such things.
Okay.
Unless
Never
you're
mind.
No, you're not human.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, our friend is in denial about their cultural heritage. So I do have something else called Hunter's Sense that might be able to give us some idea of what immunities may have. Maybe that'll help.
maybe it's worth a shot, I guess.
I think.
Speaking
Yeah.
of shots, I do have guns.
Oh Jesus! Ricochet. is
I
bad.
don't think the gun will help
Yeah.
in this.
Well, I mean, let's make a day of it. It's not every day you get to see brand new people from a brand new land. If you want to try anything, let's do it.
Your idea is probably
Alright, I
going to
don't know
bear
what
more
Hunter's-
fruit.
maybe we start with that.
Other sense isn't in my spells list, but
All right, so
maybe
it's
I
not a.
can
But you have to use a
say
spell
that I've
slot
done
for
it.
it.
Feature, isn't it?
It's just a
Yeah.
feature. Yeah. So you.
Ah.
That's Hunter Sense. You went the other one, right? Oh, that is the right one. Yes, it's the other one.
That's the right one.
That is the right one. I was thinking of
I
something
know my
else.
spells.
It's
It's not from
just
evil
because I
witches.
saw. It's because I saw 60 feet, and I was like, I saw 60, and I was like, wait.
Nah.
Anyway, so yeah, so you.
Like
you know,
all of mine are 60 feet.
Yeah. So you peer your eye into him, seeing that fabulous rainbow effect coming off of him, and you can sense that he is virtually immune to everything.
Oh,
Bailey will be pulling out their like brewer supply stuff.
Yeah, that you can't get a bead on because you're so. It sort of seems like you're looking at two things. You're looking at the golem and the thing inside of him. So you can't really
there's something
separate.
overlaid another.
You can't really separate where the golem is and where he is. So what you think might be a kink in the armor or such would actually just be the elf inside.
The elf.
But it seems like the magical nature of this thing is
Thank you very much.
beyond anything that you could perceive could actually do damage to it.
Oh no. Your magical shell is basically impenetrable. Like, I know
Yes.
you've tried everything. You kind of know this, but
Yes,
I-
it is.
I can't find any
No
immunities.
circus trick and no guns.
Any vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Ailey's
I
like
mean,
standing
if you
there with
guys
their
want
brewing
to try
stuff.
that, but I'm standing next
I mean,
to these things.
You know?
If you believe that it is not going to, I believe you.
Yeah. So from
I mean,
from
I don't
your
want to ricochet bullets, so I very much doubt a bullet will work.
It's very fair.
yeah. So yours is about damage and immunities, resistance, vulnerability. So yeah. So there's no
Yeah.
resistance.
There's
so
no obvious-
there's no vulnerability. No obvious
No
vulnerabilities.
vulnerabilities.
And pretty much
Like
anything that
maximum resistances.
yeah. So anything that you can think of. Well, so you see immunities and resistances. So anything that he's not entirely immune to, so things like bludgeoning, piercing, all of the most mundane
Yeah.
things
He
of
can
damage,
hit Shell.
and he's
Yeah.
immune to most forms of magic, and or resist most charm effects, as well. But yeah,
As well,
not vulnerable
like
to
poison and
anything
fire
that you know
damage
of.
and-
Yeah, and is completely
Yeah.
immune to
I can't
poison
find
damage.
any vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely
Well,
immune to
we've
poison.
got someone that can hit really hard. We've got a gun, and I've got these. Holding alcohol.
Bearing in mind that anything I may have seen regarding that, they also just relate to him as an elf and not his outer core. Not his outer, not his core.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know what words are today.
The,
You know
the
what I mean?
shell.
Yeah.
The
But
shell.
also it is
out
And
of it.
Mr. King
also it
guy
is just
is
extreme.
Valen on the
fine.
body.
It is just an extreme amount of magic that he is pouring off, and you are magically discerning his things. So also at the same time, it could be that it's confuddling your thing.
I just
Dun, dun,
fucking- it's overwhelming.
dun.
So there's
This
it
is-
could be
It's
anything,
up
but
to Mr. King to
it has also
decide
been-
whether he wants us to try.
well, give it a go. We used to make it a game where we'd just have people throw things at me and see if anything would stick. So just go for it.
That doesn't sound very
I'm taking
kingly
a-
to
All
me.
right, Varys, you're up.
No. I mean, if I was
gonna, like-
And Ailey goes and stands behind Willy.
Just whatever
Like,
you
"Go
do,
for it."
don't aim for my head.
Is
If
that
it-
the
if-
head of the construct?
No,
or
no,
the head of
head,
you
head
inside? the
inside,
construct?
head inside.
Okay.
Just if it
Think
does
of
work,
what-
I don't want to die immediately. That would
That's fair.
suck.
I understand.
Can you imagine that being trapped in ice for 1,000 years? And
Yeah.
You come out and then you're just dead. Like, fuck that.
No, no, in fact, I could not imagine that. All right. Well, yes.
I mean,
could come
Jamie might be able to
across
help with that, but you know.
nothing.
Oh,
It's true.
that is a good point. But I have a feeling that if she were to bring me back, then I would simply return to that state.
It's fair.
16 will. I mean, you're getting up close. You don't even need to worry about that. Just roll damage.
Alright.
He's letting you hit him. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
sweet. Roll also for me.
Oh.
What are you good at? I guess roll insight as well.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So,
It was.
so you get up pretty close. You make sure that you're absolutely shooting with the pistol. So
I mean, you're gonna be what,
Yeah.
aiming for the
yeah, and you've got to
half
like up
at your
against.
height.
Yeah, you got it up against his scarf, of the golem, and you just, and it very clearly has hit that ice, and it has disappeared. Like
Oh.
it didn't.
Ailey's like
seem
peeking
like
out
a-
from
yeah.
behind Willy. Like,
It didn't seem to go inside of the ice and like crack it like it would normally, but it seemed like it did do that. Like you're sure that that's what happened, but looking at it, it is just ice still, and the bullet is nowhere to be seen. But you've got the casing still.
Hmm. This
So-
is very fucking
So it
new.
like healed itself?
Seems like.
Hmm.
But it seems like it healed in a way that it wasn't even damaged. Like for an instant. So because this is a bullet being fired, right? It's going at an extremely fast speed. You can't even see a bullet.
Mm.
But Varys, as a halfling, does have some additional abilities there, especially when it comes to this his craft. He's very focused on what he was doing there,
Hmm.
and he could swear for a nanosecond that bullet had gone in, had cracked the ice, but then it wasn't. Like it happened in another world to him.
Yeah, I think I'd relay that to him as best I could.
Interesting. Never had that before.
Have you
Hmm.
used guns on this?
No, never
Hmm.
had such technology before. We've
Interesting.
bow
definitely
and
used
arrow?
plenty of. Sorry.
A bow and arrow?
Yes, we've tried bows and arrows as well.
Do you don't happen to have any tinkerers or anything that could help me repair this gun? I'll show it to him.
No,
Because-
I've never seen such a contraption before. I'm
Hmm.
afraid. But
Well, this
If
is
you are
definitely
familiar-
a lot stronger than the other one,
I see. Well,
so
it'd
maybe
be
it
very
helps
interesting
with-
to try then.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen such a contraption before. But if it is just made out of metal, and you are familiar with its construction, then I could allow for someone to help you with it. Some
A workshop and
tools.
some materials. Yeah,
Yes,
I
of
do
course.
have my own, but yes.
Yes,
because
in the
it's-
castle
it
grounds
is-
we have many workshops. My predecessors were all very very creative.
Fair enough. Ailey, did you want to try your tricks?
Hang on. First of all, though,
Mhm.
Ailey will take a pinch of the spice and go and try and rub
Okay,
it
while
in
you're
the
figuring
ice.
out what to do here, Willie is gonna just fucking swing.
Yeah.
Let's go in for a full swing. Yep.
I like to imagine that he just charged out of the corner while we were talking.
Yeah, like you guys are deciding. You guys are like, "Oh." And then nothing. But you hear it go, tick, and you don't see any cracks. You don't see any damage whatsoever. And then you see Willie like pull it away a little bit and still be vibrating and like.
He's like a cartoon character.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
like a cartoon.
Funny that.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So did rubbing the spice on a chunk of the ice do anything?
Nope.
No.
Nothing at all.
Alright,
well.
surely that'd make the problem worse. We need less magic. Wait,
Alright.
wait. We need some
Mhm.
kind of voidy anti-magic?
Maybe. Alright,
Maybe.
stand back, everyone. It has
I
been a
do so.
while since I have practiced. these
Believe it was like yesterday, but okay.
Yeah, but it's been a while since I've practiced.
Well,
in front
practice
of the
versus
audience.
actual.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
So you're doing anything? Okay, we'll just go with the first one.
I accidentally.
Any
Are you
performance?
doing any?
You want me to do performance with that?
No. Are you doing any additional bits and pieces? And yeah, I guess you do want to do a performance if you're trying to keep this a secret still.
A ruse.
Oh, so close!
Oh my god! What? No way! Is it actually an 8?
Yeah.
It looks like a 20. It looks like a 20. Wow.
Oh,
That's
that's sad.
amazing. All right. Well, yeah, all right. Fair enough.
That's what I need to pass off the like downing like a stick with some whiskey.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Bro, that doesn't even.
Varys Thricus, roll perception. Willie's still
Doesn't even-
shaking in the corner.
It
Yep.
doesn't even beat my passive perception.
Oh, fuck.
It's a natural one on an ability check.
Everyone is
So I
believing
can
Ailey on this.
I can do it again.
Oh my
It's a natural one on
A
an
natural
ability
one.
check.
Oh, you get to roll it again.
I get to do it.
Holy fuck.
Oh, and look at that.
Oh shit!
The
Okay.
highest
Damn
of
it.
highs after the lowest.
Oh
of
my
lows.
god, that's
Oh my
amazing.
fucking God.
That's fucking beautiful.
That is a beautiful double take right there.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Thyricus, you're still absolutely livid about the very thoughts of what went on with him and Jamie.
Willie's too distracted by shaking in the corner.
Yeah, Willie's not even paying attention, so don't worry about him. But Varys, in a quick double take, very much notices that the fire did not come from the torch. It very much came out of your mouth.
The torch was just singed in the process.
Yeah, that the fire was just, the flame on the thing was engulfed by that. Anyway, were you doing any additional things on your breath? Were you just doing it plain up, not using any of your points?
Actually, I wonder if I should make it stronger or not. Where's my... I was trying to remember how many... Oh no, we slept. I
You
do
did
have
sleep.
all my
You
empower
have all
points
of your
back.
power points back.
Yeah, so I will... Where is it? Increase by 2d6. So...
Nice.
So there was an extra 6 damage on top of it.
Okay. Well, this is very interesting.
So I was aiming at the leg/foot.
Yep. What should you roll for this? I'll just roll a straight d20. Okay. All right. Sweet. Fair enough.
Consistent. 3
I
threes
thought
in a
I
row.
was going to get to roll some intelligence for a change, but no.
So you you do your little flourish. You flick your flaming stick around a few times, making just sure to try and make this as much of
Making
a
a show
performance
of
as
it, yeah.
making a show as much as
Usual.
possible. And then your hood just sort of falls back a little bit as you go to blow through it, and very clearly in the eyesight of Varys can see that it's coming right out of your mouth.
What the fuck?
Right through the thing onto the ice, and blows right through it. The ice on the other side, seemingly unscathed, but just like when Thrakus hit it with their hellish rebuke, the fog spews out of the back of him to this long white coat. Well, that's quite interesting. That was not
Need more
not
whiskey.
regular fire, was it?
Ah, it's my special
No, it
brew.
fucking wasn't.
It's my special brew of whiskey. That's why I brew my own.
Very interesting.
She will try and pour some of the whiskey straight onto the ice as well. Just see if
Okay,
that
roll another deception.
No, like she's trying to see if that will melt
Like,
it.
Yeah.
You've
Just
only
roll another
bought
deception.
This stuff. You haven't brewed it.
Okay.
Fuck.
Well, you've convinced Tesserion that that's what's going on. That is just magical whiskey. At least.
She did bring some of her own brewed stuff, not just the stuff that she's brought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well. Well, that's quite amazing. Magical whiskey. I never would have thought of it. But it does seem like it has not had the effect that we're looking for. But this is promising. You've definitely shown me some interesting things, and getting your big gun fixed does seem like it could do something. Maybe.
Either way, I would like it repaired, but if I can help you as well,
Yes, of
even
course.
even better.
Well,
It packs a lot.
while you're here in the city, there's how best to put this? There's some dealings going on that
We've noticed.
you've noticed.
We may not be speaking about the same thing. What were you going to say?
I do think you need to do more about your housing market.
Yes, that is part of it. So
we had a run-in with some unscrupulous people in the employ of a man called Theodred.
yes, Theodred Kaiferin.
This mean.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he has been quite a problem. He is part of the criminal underbelly around here. Slumlord, if you will.
That is literally worse. It can be seen on my stream.
Yeah, but it is not. It is not as simple as that. He is his dealings and many other things. If he was simply working within the bounds of the law and owning property, as much as I hate it, if there was all he was doing, then it wouldn't be much of a problem. But he is illegally sourcing spice and turning it into, well, I guess drugs would be the term. To a fleeting
That's what
high for some
happened to
people.
you?
No. I wish it was just an eventful night on the town, but no, that is not the case. It spice magic is spice as a drug is a fleeting high of magical nature, obviously, and it is something that any normal person could, well, any regular maged elf could experience by simply using the magic through their body. But as you've seen, there's a whole class of people who are unable to get tattooed, especially in this city. A kingdom is
That due to
grown.
scarcity of the spice, or standing within the classes, or
It's a little of both, for
okay.
sure. The Earthen Kingdom, before the city was raised, literally raised, not destroyed.
No, understood. We have seen the
Yes.
decorations, statues, and what.
Yes. Before the city was raised, the Earth Kingdom was a small populace. We lived mainly in Glenvalur, and there was some settlements out this way. Little towns, little hunting villages and all that across the savannah. We mainly separated the borders between our kingdom and the desert on the other side of the mountains. And we were few enough, and we did enough earthen work digging in the ground to satisfy the amount of spice that we needed. And our families were small enough that when we had new people join our family, when we had new siblings, new children, the elders and the parents could do the appropriate ceremonies required to infuse the magic within. But as we have grown so quickly and so large, it has been hard to both procure the amount of spice required, but also for people to care enough, to be around enough, to perform those rites for the people who need them. It is both a cultural and a scarcity thing, for sure. But as I said, the reason I went to the Solar Tether a long time ago was to try and negate this very problem, but it unfortunately is not going to be the case. So I was hoping eventually that maybe we could wean ourselves off. Stop it being
Thank you
such
for the
a
follow, Obama OST.
thanks, Obama. Could hopefully make it less of a high class thing to have magic, but well, we'll see how it goes when we've traded with the other kingdoms for long enough. I know that the humans and the dwarves and the halflings are not naturally magic, so hopefully their inventions and your knowledge will help them in that way. So
We're discussing
So-
some story plot points.
So, one question I personally had was: do you know anything about a group called the Cult of the Black Sun?
No, I've not heard of them. But sounds familiar though.
If
Sounds
you
very
do
familiar.
remember anything, do let me know.
Yes, they've been alive for a very long time, so a lot of that stuff gets lost. I will
Understandable.
see if I recall anything comes to mind.
Welcome.
Thank you.
But about
Where are
Theodred.
you from?
Yes.
So, unfortunately, trying to deal with him has been, well, tedious. Unfortunately, a lot of the guards are, well, there's the
on
rot
his
that he
payroll.
spreads, yes, the rot that he spreads deep. And as much as I can try, and as much as I can pay, as much as I can do to keep a lot of the systems working, there are still being stuck in an ice golem means that I always have to stay looking straight ahead. I can't see a lot of things going on around me in many more ways than one. So it makes it hard to organize against him. And anything that I try to do, any movements I make, any pressures I put will only make it worse for some. And it's very hard to try and figure it out.
I want to visit one day.
Yeah.
Once the borders reopen.
Yes. It is pretty cold there in Sweden. Anyway.
Then I'll love it even more.
Yes.
It's getting too warm here already.
It is getting too warm here. I've got my fan on. Yes. Anyway. So what I would like for you is you being not from the city, not from our kingdom, not even from our race, would make it very easy for you to go places that my guards cannot. Go places that my guards would not. And talk to people.
Does Ailey finally get to use her thieves' count?
Quite possibly. And you have, in these letters, shown very much that you are capable of such things.
No, we've been playing this for a while. How long have we been playing
Pyro,
this?
can you please mute this?
Yeah, if you want to continue talking to you, chat, please mute this.
I will, but once
It's
you answer,
been quite a while.
yeah, how long have we been doing this?
We've
Was
been
this like session
going.
8, 9?
Fuck, I have not been
No,
putting numbers on this. This is way longer
No.
than
Yeah,
that.
I
It's been
forgot.
going for like. No, it's been going on for like 3 months now. 2 months. When did we
I
start?
think definitely more than 2 months.
More
September?
than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've just arrived in
More than 2
a
months,
new
almost
city,
3.
so there's
Yes.
some new stuff about to
I
start.
arrived in Ralovalur. Yes. So
Anyway,
you've shown yourself to be very capable. So I would like to, in a sense, point you in the right direction and send you off to hopefully deal with this problem for me. I don't care if you run him out of town, or you bring him to me, or you kill him. Honestly. He is...
I was going to point out my skill set is not hugely extensive beyond putting holes in,
yeah.
personally.
Yes. Well, yes. But I do want you to keep this sort of quiet, though. I'm not putting out
You
I
cannot be
wanted
seen to be
dead or
putting
alive.
out a hit on.
Yes, exactly. I'm not
Yes,
going to be
I
putting out a hit on a citizen. Especially as the council have strictly forbade me of taking any sort of action against him. So
Oh, they're also in his pay packet.
quite possibly, I've also been trying to track that down. But
In the very least, they might be benefiting from what he does. If not
quite
directly,
possibly.
then
Very
in
likely.
that case. Yes, I mean that sounds like a grand idea for recent travelers to take care of a problem.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be
Oh.
fun.
And I'm glad to see you're so enthusiastic about this.
Well, we might have
Finally.
already had a bit of some Theodred's people, so
I see.
Oh yeah, they're already looking for us, right? Well, they're
well,
looking for you.
they are looking for me.
They're already looking for you?
I told the people that we saw evicting, and I use that word loosely, a woman from her house. I told them that Theodred needs to have a word with me.
Well, do get onto it quick. I'm glad I've chosen the right people.
We'd like to keep things efficient.
Mm, I see. Well then, there will be payment as well, obviously. Do not fret. Can certainly pull it out of the councillor's wages for this week. Yes. But it is getting late. I do imagine that you'll probably want to get back to Jamie, and report on how you went and how I am.
How do we get to Jane?
I will
goodness.
send a man to come with you.
That would be helpful.
Yes, one of my trusted guard. But Sin brings up his arm, his big golem arm. And he sort of waves it there for a second. He's like, oh I can't. He brings his arm down. Fuck. What's his name? Darfin.
Nothing?
Take these travelers. Take them to Jamie's. They are our honored guests. And an armored guard steps from around the corner. Seemingly having been around there the whole time. Adorned similarly with that armor, but it's different. It doesn't have the same tree insignia on it, like all the other guardsmen that you've run into so far. Instead, it has like a sort of flowing river sort of thing going on with like branches coming off of it in different angles. Like it's like a joining river flowing down its chest. And it's blue, but it's not like bright blue. It's like a blue toned metal pressed onto the regular steel plating that he's wearing. Yes, of course. Where am I taking them? Take them to Jamie's. You know, the same place she always stays when she's here. Yes, of course. Well, follow me. And you follow him out the gates, round the corner, to into this area. Seems like everywhere that Jamie stays seems to be out with a nice large courtyard out the front. And he leads you to a nice building down here. Similarly built, like all the others. Really nice place. And he knocks on the door. And Jamie answers.
Wonderful.
Oh, Darfin. How good to see you. Yes, my lady. Here's your band. Yes, I've been wondering where they got off to. Thank you so much. No worries, my lady. Will that be all? Yes, of course, Darfin. I hope your wife and kids are alright. Never better. See you next time, Jamie. You too, Darfin. And he toddles off back to where he was going, and Jamie opens the door and let you all in. So,
Hi, Jamie.
how was it? Did you have fun?
We got to try and destroy the ice golem.
Ah,
Yeah.
Have
We
any luck?
basically just got to wail on the guy. It was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
I noticed something quite interesting when I shot him.
Oh,
But
something interesting. Wow.
yes, it was only for a second. It looked the smallest possible amount of time. It looked like the bullet had cracked the ice, and was going through it. But in that same instant, the bullet just disappeared, and there was no crack in it.
That is very
Kept
interesting.
having a really cool
Hmm.
cloak when, like, the damage, and then more of the stuff would come off.
Ah, yes, the magic font that he has. Yes. Yes, it is. It is a big problem. Unfortunately, one that I was unable to permanently solve, but I'm glad that you have given him more hope with your attempts.
He is very eager for me to use my larger gun on it.
Oh,
Which
yes,
is
I'm
not something
sure.
that people usually want to have.
No, I imagine not. Well, if if it seems like you've done something, at least that would be the first change in, well, 1,000 years. So, I'm sure he'll jump at the chance to give anything a go.
He
But,
almost practically did.
Yes, I see.
He said that it used to be a game or something where people would throw things at him. And
Ah, yes, well, yes. What did they call it? The training golem festival, I think. Something silly like that.
whack a golem.
Whack-a golem. Yes, it was that. It's so fun. Kids came from all around to throw all sorts of things at him. This entire courtyard was filled with smashed fruit. It was amazing. What a time! What a time!
We have also been asked to undertake a task for him in the city.
Oh,
And we
I see.
already kind of began before he asked.
Yeah.
I see. What sort of trouble did you get into when I left?
It was almost immediately after you left.
I see.
A couple of minutes, maybe.
Well, I'm glad I left my death guard with you.
It was intimidation, if nothing else.
Ailey turns around and be like, "Oh."
He had been standing a little bit further behind.
Has been following us all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lurch holding
Yeah.
fucking just like holding a piano on top of him. Like,
we go through a doorway and it closes and he walks into it. No.
fuck. It's too accurate. Oh,
Yes,
dear.
we had an encounter with some employees of a man called Theodred.
I've never heard of this man.
He is a slumlord.
I see.
He's been dabbling in spiced drugs.
Ah, that kind of person. I see him.
Yes.
Well, I'm
It's
glad
okay,
that you
because
are.
if we accidentally kill him, they don't care. But we're
I
not
see.
allowed
Oh
to
my
tell
God.
others.
I see. Well,
We are inside the house, right? We're
Mhm.
not... Good. Just checking we're not doing this on the
Spell.
doorstep.
no, you did step in and didn't you close the door? And then Lurch, fucking Lurch fucking came through the door. And then Jamie mended it again, and we're okay. But no, you're our inside.
Good. Because, yeah, tact is not something that we apparently have as
No.
a party.
As soon as you're talking to someone, you're telling them everything.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Jamie. I'll be honest with Jamie.
Yeah.
Tell them all the things.
Well, I'm glad that that they've chosen you to do that. They've definitely got the right people for it.
Absolutely.
Ah, well, it's
Oh,
pretty late.
I guess we are murderers.
we give the people the death of. Yes, we kill them.
Sometimes people just gotta die, and I understand that.
I feel like you understand that a lot better than most people.
Yes, I do. And some people deserve to live, and I try my best to make sure that well, to correct that order, but sometimes I can't. So it's just things you've got to get accustomed to in my place.
Yeah. It's a little grim to think about, though, now that we know that they kind of all are going straight to some kind of hell dimension. Unlike the
I mean,
natural order of things.
we don't really know that yet, do we? I mean,
Maybe it only affects
I
religious
mean-
people. We've only had this account from religious people.
that is true.
Maybe that is why.
Perhaps.
I'm not discounting the possibility that everybody is going to hellscape.
And
But,
I've been bringing elves back for a long time, with no such things. So it could also be non-elvish people. I know that your friend, what was her name, Lana, she she was half an elf, right?
She was half elf, yes.
Brandis is
Ah.
rich.
Thrakus is not a fan.
I see. Yes, she was half elf, but again, she was from the elves from the other continent. It could simply be that people of our nature don't go there, or perhaps people from the other continent are the only ones, or perhaps just non elves. I don't know, but it's definitely something we need to. Well, I wouldn't say experiment with, but I guess if there's anyone you want me to bring back, we can bring them back and ask them, I guess.
I'm not opposed to this, but
We know if we have the corpse, right?
yes. Yes, and
Wait,
I imagine that
Will it
doing
work
that.
if we only have their heads?
No, I will need their whole. I mean, technically, I guess if I expended a lot of energy, like a lot, then I could,
Like all of it?
yeah, like all of it, all of it.
Yeah,
I
let's
could
not push it that far.
I could bring someone back to life with if their entire body was gone, if they had been disintegrated in some manner, but
Ah,
if they're partially still here, it sort of just the magic sort of just brings it's interesting. It's the kinds the weird levels of the magic. It's like there's like a step I need to go, and on one step it's bringing back someone who's got all of their faculties still there. It would heal some minor wounds, like a stab to the heart or something like that, and bring them back, no problem. And on the next step, it's
needs minor wound, stab
yeah,
to the heart.
just something that kills them, something like
Like a
that.
clean wound.
I
Yeah,
understand.
but not like
yes.
missing their lungs or being cut in half. That
Heart ripped out,
yeah,
brain missing.
exactly. That stuff, no dice, can't do that. But then a step up from that is just fucking pull them out of thin air. Just pull their soul out of thin air and put them into a body that I materialize. And I don't fucking understand why it's like that, but it just is. So, no to the heads, but if you know the true name of someone who's currently dead and they want to be alive, I can try to bring them back.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Most of those we shouldn't bring back. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, How good would it be to bring back the Lamia? I just.
You just walk
You do-
up to her
you do-
wearing her
you
skin,
have-
putting it done.
Yeah. I don't have the skin on me right now.
You have pieces of
Yeah.
her. You have pieces of her. Willie has her head in a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like everyone we've killed, we've taken bits.
Yeah. so that's not for any of those. That's not gonna work.
Welcome to Willie's Grotesquerie.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wonderful. That's good. That's very good to
Wait,
know.
what about the man that the Lamia ate?
Did we
No.
know his true name?
Like, or the couple? Or whatever? I can't. Yeah. They were. His,
Don't
know if I
Because
believe
he's
you've
down
got
his
their
name.
been
names.
digested.
No, I don't believe so.
Where did I put it?
I do not have a name.
'Cause I know. Because
Solo.
was his name used?
I don't feel like it was.
No,
Solo was like.
he did not give
Friend.
their name.
No, thanks.
Solo
This
kind of just
lovely
talked
couple.
about them like that. Yeah, there were a nice couple
A
that he knew.
story. Yeah.
Hmm. There's something to consider, though.
Was the ring engraved with a name?
No.
Can't
I
remember.
think no, it was to my
But
love.
I'm still
Yeah,
carrying the
something
ring
similar.
around.
Yeah, it was the To My Love.
Damn it.
Yep.
'Cause that's the only person I can think of who has legit died who we've not stolen parts from.
Mm.
Mm.
And
I mean,
was
difficult for some
devoured.
people to come back. Oh yes, it was
Wow.
in fact eaten.
But it also
Presumably it wants to come back.
So we stop vampires, we're cutting their heads off.
Yeah. It
Thanks
also
to
requires
Willie.
that they want to come back, and well, you don't know.
Yeah. Fair. I think once you
I
get
want to
eaten
come
by
back.
your
Yeah.
your monstrous love, you're just kind of done with the
Yeah.
mortal
The
plane.
love of your life turns into a monster and eats you. I think you'd just be like, nah, bro, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, he might be pissed enough to want to come back and be like,
It also depends on. It
Well,
also depends
We've already
on
killed
if
her, so
if he
I don't
is
think it
if he
any-
has gone to the place where fucking Rillin and Lana went, then he's been there for years now.
Mhm.
Do you
That is
really
possibly
want to bring him
insane.
back?
bad things
No.
are.
We know what happened when somebody was dead for like a few seconds.
Mm.
Oh, he could be real crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are
That's
religious people and they get
cray
funny when they believe
cray.
certain
He's
things.
gonna end up being Rillin's boss. He's gonna take over and franchise the whole thing.
Mm.
Wait, have we asked,
Jesus.
I know.
asked her about Rillin much? Like,
I mean, you asked her if she knows anything about what the place that he went to is about.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
haven't-
because it was Lana that was keeping an eye
Yeah.
out for him, wasn't
You
it?
asked
not,
if-
not Jamie.
You asked about if she knew where he might be, and she explained that her magic does not give her that connection to him because she just brought him back to life. She didn't do death guardy things with him.
Yeah. Understandable.
I was gonna say, did we ask her how he might suddenly have necromancer powers?
No, you did not ask
Does
that.
she pass them
No, we
along?
didn't. Oh.
You did not ask that. So you. How did? How
Ailey
did...
will ask that now. Jamie, when you bring people back,
Amazing.
do
I mean,
they
this is what the
suddenly
conversation
get
is
your
going
magic too?
Yeah, fair.
No, not usually. No.
Then how come Rillin did?
I mean, do you know if it was mine? Was it purple? Did he have tattoos? Did he?
I mean,
It was not purple in any way.
No.
Okay.
He used
Oh.
a white light magic to bring.
No, he did not
Killed
have
her as
those
well.
masks.
How did he suddenly get necromancer powers?
I don't know.
Is
Perhaps
that
he.
something people can just learn? Can I go and learn that?
If you're already magically inclined, yes, probably. I mean, if you were,
He was
Whoa.
originally.
If you trained for long enough
a
with
god
me,
man.
I could give you such powers if you trained with me, with my family, and I took
Could
you
you
in.
teach me to fly?
That sounds pretty cool.
I could. It would take a very long time for me to do such things, but it's,
I would
Yeah,
be
how
an
long do
old
you live,
man.
Ailey?
and it
How
does
long
it.
do you live, Ailey? Would
and
it be
A normal human
sufficient?
amount that she can bring me back to life and teach me to fly.
I do not.
No, you're not human.
Don't believe it happens with the old age thing. You would come back
Oh.
and still be old,
I have a
and then die
feeling.
again.
I have a feeling
Just
that at
kill
some
me
point.
at a younger age.
I have a feeling that at some point you will gain the ability to fly. I don't understand how that works.
Thank you for
Excuse
having
me?
faith in me.
Why would she know that? How would Jamie know that?
No, she doesn't.
That's DM
What
shit.
kind
there.
of divination bullshit?
No, she doesn't. But no, she says it's a little bit more than just time, though. You would to get my magics. First thing you'd need to be capable of receiving them. I've never done it on anything other than an elf of my kind, so we don't know how it would take to you. Could destroy you, honestly.
Magics do seem different.
Mm.
And
From what?
it really does depend on, we'd need the spice, we'd need the right rituals,
Well,
we'd need...
we do happen to have a large amount of spice in hiding.
Oh yes, you do, don't you?
Yes.
Well, there's also rituals involved, and we definitely need to get back to my city, and talk with my council, to really decide that. But it's also kind of an
We better go
intimate
see
thing.
right now.
Oh.
So I probably
Yeah.
couldn't do that for you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Intimate,
probably,
like.
maybe don't.
Oh, I see. I don't know.
I missed that. I was.
It's like a-
maybe
it's-
maybe Therikus could possibly get it. I don't know.
What you fucking...
Speaking of which, Therikus, I have something to talk to you about. Come with me. And now,
Yeah?
in the middle of Therikus spluttering, I'll pull Therikus aside,
Okay.
and
All right. Well, Jamie's going to continue saying to Pyro,
Mhm.
it's kind of like adopting a child, if we did it to someone who's not already part of my family, or I guess you could say
adopt
it's like
me?
it's like marriage as well. There's a lot of different connotations.
You want to be my new mom?
I appreciate the offer, Ayla, but I don't think we're at that point yet.
Oh. Do you think Ray could adopt me?
I don't know. Perhaps you
Therikus.
seem
Adopt.
very alike.
Therikus.
Yeah.
So earlier I saw when we were attacking the big golem man.
Hmm?
I watched Ailey. I saw her. She didn't use the torch and some alcohol. That fire came out of her body.
What
The
fuck?
fire came out of her mouth.
Ailey's
doing
still
this?
busy talking to Jamie.
Yeah.
That's why I was taking Therikus away. You were busy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Ailey's over with Jamie
know.
learning about things.
Yeah.
Like
What
try to
species
convince her to
allows-
teach her to fly.
What kind of race allows
Yeah.
people to do that?
I don't know. It's
Like,
nothing I've ever
she's
met
not-
before.
she's not a tiefling. She doesn't have hooves.
You wouldn't
Not
know
those
that because of the shoes
prerequisites.
that Ailey wears.
You need
I
to.
don't wear shoes because I got hooves.
Just wear long pants though.
Oh. You don't clip clop.
Don't clip clop.
Don't clip clop. You don't clip cloppy.
But yes, the act.
Remember,
Well,
Ailey
cool.
told you all that
Cool.
that she was cursed. Was one of her.
Was one of the
that
things
she
that
told
she's
you.
in, but she's also told you that she's entirely human.
Yes, completely a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally
So-
a human.
Totally
Yeah.
not a dragon.
Which is very much not tiefling.
Yeah.
Also, I asked the magic
So-
8-ball, and they said build a cabalito.
Build a cabalito.
Mm. Blame yourself.
But yes, keep it on the down low, and we will maybe do our own sort of investigating to find out what the fuck is going on there.
Can't be a curse like the golem curse, right?
What
Because
was
like
that?
I don't
got
think
cool
so.
fire stuff.
I just said
Like,
investigation, so I rolled
resistance.
Okay.
investigation.
That's not very
Would-
cursey.
Are they far enough? Would Ailey be suspicious of what's going on? No, Ailey wouldn't know
No,
that they know.
you're
it's
still
anything.
you're still desperately trying to convince Jamie to give you any ounce of magic at all.
So she's investigating investigating Jamie.
Yeah.
Like poking her tattoos.
Yeah.
And like trying to touch the wings or whatever.
No, she doesn't have them out, but yeah,
Uh-uh.
yeah. So she is
Allowing Ailey
she is
to
allowing you
investigate
to
the tattoos.
yeah, she is allowing you to investigate the tattoos.
I
to
have
inspect
some
them.
spice. You could totally put some on me. And you already put the one on the back of our necks.
That's a little innocuous thing. It's nothing. That actually getting magic that you can use, that you can channel, requires a
Should we like look around, see the others are off hidden away, and be like, "Do you have something strong enough that can tattoo scales, though? Just asking for a friend."
scales. What kind of scales?
How loud did Jamie say that?
At
No,
a
you're
normal
far away,
speaking
that's
volume.
why Ailey can't hear you,
Oh,
because
yeah.
otherwise Ailey
Yeah.
would
Fine,
hear
we
you.
will whisper.
At a normal
Yeah.
speaking volume. Scales. What? Why?
Just asking for a friend.
What kind of scales are we talking?
Well,
Like a
you know,
lizard
what
person?
if a Lamia wants the magic?
I've
Or if
never put it on a lamia before.
or Thoricus. What if Thoricus wants to put it
Thoricus has
onto
got normal
her
regular
Lamia
skin, it's just
jacket?
red.
No, but what if she
I don't
wants to
have
put it on her
scales.
Lamia jacket thing
Who
that
is
she
this
made?
friend?
Ah, like imbuing it
No,
into like a
no.
leather
She-
item. I mean, we don't
Thoricus, you
have to
don't
do
have
it like that.
scales.
You
I don't
you
have
two
scales. I don't.
She was trying to
are-
talking about the leather.
Ah.
We don't have to.
and you
Why would
two
we
are
need to put it
you're
on
having
that?
your own discussion.
Can't
Yeah.
fit the normal way.
Yeah, we do use the spice and these magic symbols to imbue certain items with magic properties. Yes, but it is not done the same way. We don't tattoo things
You-
into leathers or scales or anything like that. It's only ever been done in elven skin. We don't know what could happen if we put it anywhere else.
Skin the same as elven skin?
Functionally, yes. It
So you can
Magically,
tattoo
probably
bits of
not.
human
magically
skin?
not so much. We've
You're
never
not there. You're having your own discussion.
yeah, but still
Yeah.
magically
busy
not
whispering.
so much.
Yeah.
Physically, yes. Elves are
Does it matter where the tattoos are placed?
yes.
Oh, so that would limit.
It does limit some aspects of it, yes.
Right, you two can continue. But that's basically what Ailey's doing while you're doing.
Yeah.
If Ailey's magically cursed, wouldn't Ailey know more about magic?
I would think so, but it's Ailey.
What the fuck is going on here?
I know dick all about magic anyway, so that's why I told you. You are more versed in these sort of things.
Oh,
Roll
well.
a Arcana check. Thoracus.
Oh.
Not right now.
Yeah, you got no fucking clue.
I have no.
So now that you've had time to really ponder on it, Varys, do you also want to roll a survival check?
Survival. Shoot.
Yeah, you've actually seen what's happened. So you're not you're
What's
you're
survival?
you're
Yeah, it's
you're
fair.
putting it to your it's looking back at your experiences. So it's not
Yeah.
a history check because it's not just knowledge. It is something you've had to experience before. So you're trying to match it up with things in your head. And
Yeah,
Okay.
I did travel for a while.
Yeah, you've traveled
Getting-
before. You've seen dragons before. You've
Mm.
seen kobolds,
Probably
specifically
haven't
a
seen
kobold
half
that
dragon.
you probably haven't seen a half dragon, but you might have heard of them.
Yeah. I might have heard of them.
So it definitely seems like whatever's going on there is draconic in some way, and it really harkens back to the fact that you know that she speaks draconic as well.
Yeah. That sounds less like a curse thing and like a maybe a lineage thing.
Yeah, it definitely seems like you know of
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
But I clearly don't look.
Yeah, but she clearly doesn't look Dragonborn. But
Yeah.
she has similar nature in that sense. So you're not you've not far from the leap to thinking that she is a dragon in disguise.
Oh, but that would be the thing is they might think I'm literally a dragon
Yeah,
in disguise.
exactly.
They won't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the sort of leap I'm talking about with that.
Yeah.
Is that you think you can either think that she is a dragonborn that has
Especially because
transformed their
if I-
shape into humanoids, more human, or
Mm.
a dragon that is hiding in human form.
Pass
And
those
in all
thoughts on
honest-
to Therikus. So
Like,
Right.
so you've straight up made that leap?
That's
those
the
are
leap.
those
Those
are
are
the
those
possible
are the
conclusions.
options, the conclusions that you've come to with those roles.
I'm not 1,000% on it.
No.
But yeah,
It could still be anything, and from the things that you've experienced already,
Yeah.
from the kobold that was
Hey.
becoming a dragon, the
evidence
undead
at
dragon,
hand suggests
that there is something
these
draconic
maybe
happening.
yeah. Now pass that along. So
Hey,
Yeah.
when I cast Primeval Awareness in the forest,
you said that you
was
felt a
an echo
dragon.
of only a small amount.
Could you try it
It wasn't-
again? Like right now, we are in the middle of a city. There shouldn't be dragon around, right?
We're in the mountains. Yeah, like
If a
Yeah,
dragon's
and it
gonna
will only
die
be in a
anywhere,
mile
it's gonna be
radius.
on a mountaintop.
this is only 1 mile instead of 6.
Yeah.
It's more.
So
the
this is
idea.
a different presence to what you felt previously. It is very, very clear that there is a dragon nearby and within a mile. Very clear to you.
Is that
So
'cause
it's a different
Ailey's getting closer and
Nope.
closer?
Nope, it is an entirely different feeling to the
Nope.
one that you had
Oh.
when Ailey was right next to you and within 6 miles. It's
Oh my
very
God.
clearly a dragon within a mile of you.
Stumble upon an actual dragon.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, she's aware it's a different feeling, and that it wouldn't be that it's.
Yeah,
Yep.
but is the other feeling still there?
Yeah. So there's both mild and greater presence of dragon. Aberrations. Not so much. Celestials, no. Elementals, for sure. They're fucking everywhere. Fae, not really. Maybe like the cusp of the Feywild, you can kind of feel pressing against the side, the very edges of what you're feeling there. Probably because you've just come from where the Feywild literally dissects the world.
Yeah.
Fiends, there's that ever present deep set feeling of a gigantic presence of it. But there's also smaller, lighter ones you can feel. in the
And of
prisons
course,
as well.
undead. Because...
And undead.
We got a guard.
Yeah, undead. You notice now that you didn't realize before. Maybe something was shielding them in some way, but the death guards very much show up on your radar now.
All right.
Like
Well, as soon as I
Jamie
cast
had-
it, I
Like
as
Jamie
soon
had
as I
put
cast it, I
some.
go,
Oh, yeah. Yep. As soon as you finish, just before you do that, yeah, it seemed like Jamie had casted something on them to prevent them from being sensed in this manner. Then that is definitely. But yeah. So as soon as you do that,
as soon as I've cast it, I go, holy shit, real loudly, so everyone can fucking hear.
Everyone's like, what? What?
I'm like, this is no. There is a real fucking dragon around here somewhere.
Wait, what? No,
Straight up.
there's
this
no
is straight up
dragons
dragon.
here. There's no dragons
No,
here.
no, this is strong. This is a
There's
strong
no
fucking thing.
dragons here.
Look, I don't know what the fuck you there was another fucking weird thing about a small dragon in there too. I don't know. But there's a real dragon. There's a real dragon.
There's a dragon? What kind of
Real
dragon?
dragon.
How do you know there's
I
a
don't
dragon?
know.
Where's the dragon?
What? I may have done some primeval awareness stuff, because I was curious about the new city. And holy shit, that was strong. There's a dragon within a mile of us.
That
How
is
big's the
not
city?
good.
that's
Is the city a mile or?
yeah.
So it's
I don't
within
know
the
how much.
city.
I don't know how much a mile is.
Well, okay,
Um,
there's a dragon within
Like
the city.
0.8 of a kilometer.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it
1
could-
kilometer is 0.8.
Yeah, so from where you are, a mile
Think.
definitely reaches within the center of the city. It's not on like the inches of it. It could also be like in the mountains.
So it's 1.6 kilometers.
Yeah.
Mile.
So it's definitely either within the walls, close in the mountains, or on the very edges of the slums, or within the very edges of the slums. Somewhere within the city or in the mountains.
Can you cast this next time we're near Wayclaw?
Yeah.
I
Do that.
thought, why do you want to cast it near Wayclaw?
Because what the fuck is Wayclaw?
He is a person who likes green.
Yep, totally.
Ailey just like blinks.
Varys did not give a shit about Wayclaw. All he cared about was Wayclaw paying him,
Yeah.
and that he could
Yeah.
use Wayclaw's influence to get some discounts.
Whereas Ailey and I were like testing him with language and shit and being like,
Like,
what is this
what
guy
are
about?
you?
Yeah.
Like,
This is
you're more
suspicious.
than you seem. I hunter sensed him and stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because he was
Um,
immune to poison, was
Yep.
it?
Totally
Yeah.
immune to poison.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So,
Very green of him.
We need to find this dragon.
yes, it is. It is.
Yes.
Jamie pipes up. Yes, that is very interesting. That a dragon could be in the city. That's how is it even possible? That they're supposed to be gigantic beasts, right?
Well, you
Whoa.
see, they can the big ones, the really big old ones, can sometimes look like a human.
So the powerful
Oh.
ones can be humans?
And
Yes,
in what
super
way?
strong ones.
So they
As
can
in, they walk around
magically.
looking.
But can they be anything other than human? Because there's no humans in the city. Do you mean they could look?
I
they could
mean,
appear,
humanoid.
They could appear like something that they want to be.
Humanoid.
So they could appear to look like an elf.
I'm not actually sure. I think you would have to.
Yes,
decide
you
whether
do.
that's-
You do know that they would be able to
Okay,
do that.
wait.
That they can appear like any.
Yeah,
human.
they could look like an elf as well. It's just very less likely.
Yes.
It's not least like they could look like any humanoid they want. Usually they would return to one form.
Well, they
They have a
normally have
home
a
form.
preference for a certain humanoid shape. So this one probably likes elves.
I see.
who
What other
had
things
any
could we?
weird wondering about lately. But yeah, we need to find this dragon.
What?
Okay. What kind of? Sorry. What kind of? What kind of things? What sort of nature could be used to expose them? What sort of things should we be on looking out for?
Shiny things?
Shiny things? What do you mean?
You mean like a horde?
Well, if they will like
collection.
different shiny things.
They like shiny
Yeah,
They're
like
things.
all obsessed
like
with
how-
something. Like how
Yeah.
Wakehor really likes green.
And like how Ailey really likes collecting shiny. Interesting.
And
And crows have a lot of
copper-colored
friends.
things.
I see.
If
So
I
we're
had
looking
a,
for
if I had a goatee,
someone.
I would be stroking.
So we're looking for someone who
trying to think what
hoards
else, like,
wealth.
What else would Ailey be able to like tell them about?
So we're looking for someone who hoards wealth and does not really
No,
care for other
hoards-
people.
They don't necessarily
Things.
hoard wealth, but they tend to hoard wealth. Like they will hoard us something.
I
So
see.
some of them it's like money, some of them it's like knowledge. That
So we're looking for hoarders on MTV, and
Mm-hmm.
and
My
particularly they
someone
might be
that
associated with a
hoards.
particular color or a particular type
Yeah,
of thing.
that can happen. Not always.
I see.
Depends on what they're
Mm.
hoarding and their disposition and how old
I-
they are.
So
I
they-
imagine them being powerful would transfer, as it were. They wouldn't be trying to look like a lowly commoner or anything.
No, most of them would not sink that low.
That
not
makes
unless
sense.
they were really trying to hide. They would be in a powerful position of some description.
A powerful
Like
position, you say?
Oh
Wakeclaw.
god! Oh, please!
I
don't tell-
see.
Please don't tell me it's the guy we've got to go kill.
Well, that's
Aw.
that could be a problem.
I do not. I suddenly have a very bad feeling about the fact that I gave him my name.
Mm.
Oh.
I think it might not be him. Could be someone in politics. I don't think it's the
Hmm.
king though.
No,
He
I
didn't
think
seem
I would.
like a
I think I
dragon.
would know if he was a dragon. I imagine simply
Ailey.
turning back into a dragon would fix his problem.
Haley, is there anything else about his form that could help us decipher what he is?
Well, I mean, if he's a big, powerful dragon, you won't be able to tell the difference until he actually turns
At
into
all?
a dragon. No.
There's nothing physically.
So when they use their
The
magical,
dragon would be a dead giveaway.
when they use their magical, when
Yeah.
adult dragon uses their magical nature to turn into that form, there is
No way.
no way to magically or otherwise discern that they are not that form, other than the clues like what they do with that form and what their resistances are.
Yeah. Which is why
Thought they
Abe's
couldn't
super
reduce
suspicious
their
of-
actual mass, as in weight.
No, because
Um,
they've
it's-
actually
it is-
shapeshifted.
yeah,
I
it's
think.
actually shapeshifting. It is magic.
Yeah.
It's not an illusion. If it's just an illusion, then yeah.
That'd be like
But then they would be
No,
like,
no.
yeah, then they wouldn't be able to stand inside houses. Like,
Spindly way.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're really
that's the reason why vampires can't
big,
come in
big
unless they're
houses.
invited, because they're actually huge.
What?
Also, yeah, if it was just an illusion, the whole making half dragons thing would be very not fun.
Yeah, exactly. It is because
Oh,
the
dear.
half dragon can
That's
exist.
Mm.
Yeah, the half dragon can exist because they
So-
essentially polymorph themselves into a human to have sex.
I believe that's why
Oh,
most
next level
half
personas.
dragons come from a female human and a male dragon. But occasionally it's the other way. I can't remember. I'd have to
No, I'm
read
pretty sure
the-
it's sort of 50-50.
Yeah, I can't remember how it was. Because it was something like you're more dragon looking if you have a dragon mother because you're in the dragon womb.
And that's where you
Yeah.
normally get Dragonborn from.
Is my sound alert still broken?
Robs.
God damn it. I thought I
Well.
fixed him.
Anyway.
This has been
Um,
a lot of
also-
excitement for late at night. We should definitely finish up for tonight. And that is where we're going to end.
Holy shit, a dragon.
Holy shit!
Wait,
You sensed a
could
dragon.
you tell what kind of dragon? So we gotta
No.
find someone for you.
No,
like,
just
you...
that it's a dragon.
That there is a dragon, a
I
definite
know
dragon.
that there is a straight up
How
strong ass
often
dragon.
can you use hunter's sense?
Once a day, right?
So we can't get her to just hunter's sense every person.
You just want to
I can use
everybody.
Hunter's Sense twice because my wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Primeval Awareness is a spell slot.
But no, the hunter sense to know if someone's resistant to something.
Yeah, they can use that twice.
That's twice.
Twice
So
a day.
I've got one more for today.
Well,
before
until
long
you
rest.
sleep.
Yeah, and then I've got two.
Goodness
Well,
me.
if we run into that guy, I'd say definitely use it on him.
Yes.
And then we run away if he is until we find out how we can fight him. And what he's immune to versus what he's not.
That's
So
good
we
times.
need to stealthily find him. He's not aware of us for me to attempt to see if he is a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh
Because we do not want him coming for us, especially after the spectacle that was already made.
Actually, that could make it easier.
Well, yeah, we might
And
find
for
more
us.
than we want.
They're only looking for me by name. If I can draw him out, you could perhaps.
I mean, you say by name, but we all look fucking ridiculous.
Oh
compared
yes,
to
we
the
do.
actual
But he
populace. Pretty sure
literally
they all
has
know who
my
we are.
name.
He might not know who I am. I'm
Mm.
very human. I blend in with them.
I'm
Sort of.
very
I
human.
look like a child.
You look nothing like an elf.
Why you? But it.
I
Oh
don't
dear.
stand out
You on
as
your
much
own
as
might have
you.
better luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I put my hood up, no one will know the difference. They'll think I'm a child.
A 6-foot child. Yes.
I mean, I guess she is smaller than they as adults, so maybe like a teenager. Like
Fucking a
The age of-
brooding teenager.
yeah,
with
a
a
brooding
hood up.
teenager. Yeah, makes sense.
Just think that Ailey's a regular elf teenager versus the rest
Yes.
of you are very obviously not elves.
Mm.
May have
Well.
to use some more appropriate clothing
But,
for this disguise.
Anyway, that is going to be us for tonight.
Ailey will
On-
toss
and
the
on
stuff,
that-
use
on
their
that bombshell.
spells
Yeah.
and the sleight of hand.
That
the
fucking
beast
session went
stuff.
some places.
Yeah, I should have ended the moment I said that there was another dragon. That would have been
Don't
good.
allow us time to speculate.
Yeah.
We'll forget in a week's time.
Anyway, tomorrow on the Fano channel, I think we're playing Men's Sky. That's every Friday and Saturday. Random Guy will be back on you now with more Final Fantasy and all of that jazz. Make sure you're there for that. Sunday, more Sunday, more Beef King Salad, playing probably more Grim Fandango over on YouTube. And then Monday we'll be back here on Twitch. What are we doing? We're going to play more Thing, or we're going to play something else? Ailey?
Well, we were thinking of doing our watch along for Halloween, but
Watch
no
along?
idea at this stage. With
yeah.
the horror shorts that we do, it'll
Oh.
either be Sunday or Monday, so
Okay.
we'll let you know when we hear from
Well, then
Vertigo's,
we will find out.
team.
But otherwise, it is going to be Divinity Original Sin 2.
We could
Shit's
do
getting
Monster
down.
Prom as an
Oh, that'd be cool for
as
Halloween.
a Halloween thing.
We'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
Good.
Cool. And then Tuesday, more Beef King Salad over on you now with more Grim Fandango. And then Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel, right back here finding out what the team is going to do. They're already planning in the chat. I can see it.
We're crying in the chat.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will
Thank you. I
see you
will
next
raid
time.
evildoer. Oh look, that sound alert's working.
Nice. Right. See you later, everybody.
We
We will raid evildoer.